Earlier this week, WWE CEO Nick Khan claimed that there were big surprises planned for WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles. Now, we are left wondering what those surprises could possibly be, but I'm here to tell you exactly what I think should happen. Again, not what will happen, what I think should happen. I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. If you haven't already done so, do me a big time favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Okay, so WrestleMania 39 is coming up, and it's relatively a pretty predictable show, you would think at least. We kind of already know what the big matches are. We know how each match is generally going to feel, and we honestly probably know the results. If you've been paying attention, at least you probably know the results of each match. And the only real question that remains is what's going to happen with one of these surprises. Is we going to have someone debut? Are we going to have someone lose that we didn't think was going to lose? I'm going to give you two options here. Number one, what's the big match? The biggest match that I think is under jeopardy of not going the way that people believe it's going to go. For me, and again, this is personally, for me, the match that I think is most under jeopardy is Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Now, I've said this in other videos. I'm not going to retread a lot of this, but the crux of the argument is that Cody kind of needs to lose at some point in his WWE run and get that sympathy from the fans, get that extra sympathy from the fans that he's honestly lacking right now. And many people have made the argument that Cody is as hot as he's ever been, and this is likely the only real time where you're going to be able to take advantage of it. And I see that and I hear that. I just think, and it might just be me being the big old mark that I am, I just think that wrestling fans are not as fickle as I think people might think they are as far as Cody goes. Now, we're very fickle about other things, obviously, but I don't think the Cody thing is something to be worried about. If I had to put a number on it, I would say 60% Cody wins, 40% Roman wins and retains. I still think Roman should retain. That being said, will it happen? We'll see. Anyway, moving on to a potential debut. Now, here's the deal, Jack. I know everyone has talked about, hey, well, you could have an interesting return maybe. Maybe you'll get Randy Orton coming out. And that is very well possible. You could see Randy Orton making a return. You could see him coming out with Riddle maybe and doing some sort of stare down with potentially, like, I don't know, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and they could set up a feud for the Raw after the next few weeks, whatever, right? That is kind of the more predictable route. And I know that Randy Orton is allegedly, like, in town, and they're probably going to be doing something around him, and that's fine. But here's what I think should happen. And again, predictions, it's okay if it's wrong. It's just professionals. Anyway, so I think immediately after the ending of the Edge and Finn Balor Hell in a Cell match, as the cell is being risen up and up to the top and it's going away, Edge and Finn Balor in the middle of the ring, they're just about to shake hands. Either man can win this. That's the beauty of my booking here. Either man could win this, but at the end, they're about to shake hands, show a little bit of respect after a pretty gruesome feud, honestly. And then the lights go down. The lights go out, and when they come back on, Switchblade Jay White is in the middle of the ring. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, wait, what? Switchblade Jay White? Where's he coming from? I thought he was going to go to AEW. I thought he was going to stay with New Japan. No. I think, and I still and I've maintained this for a while, I think that Jay White's most likely and honestly the best fit for him right now is WWE. Because I think if he comes to WWE, we've seen what Triple H is willing to do as far as booking former Bullet Club guys, former New Japan guys pretty well. At least in NXT. But I think if Switchblade comes over, it does two things for WWE. Number one, you're getting an immense talent. Like, one of the best talents in the entire world. Switchblade Jay White. There's a reason why he was trusted to be the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion for as long as he was. It's because he's freaking awesome. On top of that, if you're trying to convince Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, to come over whenever their contracts are up, if you're really trying to convince them, you're trying to convince people kind of who are under the same like mold, who have followed a similar path to Switchblade. If you're trying to convince them to come over to WWE when their contract eventually does expire, and those contracts always expire, what you're going to want is a nice case study in your favor. And there's no better person, I think, to fit that mold and to be that kind of case study right now in this current era of wrestling than Switchblade Jay White. I believe that he should honestly go to WWE. As much as I love AEW, and I would love to see him in AEW. Don't get me wrong. I would love. I'm watch Dynamite every week. I love it. I just think that given AEW's roster and right now lack of TV time, I don't think it would be. I don't think that would be the best place for him to shine the way I think he probably should. WWE has more TV. They have more events. They're gonna be able to like just make him into a bigger star faster, and that's just the God's honest truth. And that's what I want for Switchblade. I love Switchblade, and I just want to see him be a big star and have some awesome matches. Like, and let's not pretend like he won't have awesome matches. You don't think that Triple H is looking at this guy and being like, "Oh, he's gonna be in the title picture like within the next 6 months"? Of course he is, and it's going to happen. Whether it happens, like in 6 months or a year, that's a thing we can all debate about. But I still think he should go to WWE. Anyway, Switchblade in the ring looks at Finn Balor, and he turns his back to Edge, and then he delivers Pele kick to the face of Edge, and he beats him down, and he just looks at Balor, almost to say, "Hey Finn, you and I followed a very similar path. I want you to come back down that path with me." And then it's a figurative path here, of course, but I would love to see those two kind of do something to start with, and maybe that can lead to a feud between the Judgment Day and Finn and Switchblade, where Switchblade kind of turns Finn against the group he created, because apparently the group has outgrown Finn, and that's a true thing. Like, Finn Balor was originally set up to be the guy. He was originally set up to be the leader of this group, and instead he's been passed over. Dominic Mysterio is getting more TV time than Finn Balor. You got Rhea Ripley's basically the leader of the Judgment Day at this point. I mean, it's the truth. So, and I think it would be a great way to kind of repackage Balor into something new, fresh, and also something cool, which I'm not saying the Judgment thing wasn't cool for a little while. I've always thought that, honestly, Finn was a little silly in that group. He's the only one who I thought that came across as pretty silly in that group, and that's including the Dom stuff, right? But I really believe, and I truly believe, I should say, that Finn kind of needs to embrace, I think, going back to what he was in NXT when he originally came over, because it was always hinting towards the Bullet Club, the Bullet Club, the Balor Club, all that stuff. But he never changed who he was. He was always like, he was Prince Devitt with a different name. So if that's what we get, and if that's what is in the cards, I hope that that's how they do it. Either way, Switchblade to WWE makes a lot of sense. That being said, I know that there's a whole hell of a lot of you who are going to disagree with me about that, but I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Is Switchblade going to debut at WrestleMania weekend? Is Randy Orton going to come out, punch someone in the head, be like, "Stupid, stupid, stupid," as he's known to do? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you haven't already done so, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, keep it real.